Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come. That's what it said on the t-shirt of the woman I stood next to at the gym. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come. It was very early on a Monday morning. We were standing outside of the doors of our crack of dawn fitness class waiting to go in. Though she wasn't late, the glance that she and I exchanged told me very, very clearly that she didn't want to come. But she did. We got into class started, she endured, she performed. If she was like me, she blew off a couple repetitions here and there, stopped before the buzzer went off, cut a few more corners, but she got through. And she faced and rose to the challenge that was in front of her. And she was better. She somehow improved just a little bit from where she was before we walked in. It made me think that the back of her shirt should have said, "But now that I'm here." When it comes to ending racism in America, you're all late. You're late because you didn't know you were supposed to be here. You thought that racism would somehow magically just disappear. Maybe because you listened to silly terms like post-racial. Maybe because your kids started listening to a little bit of hip-hop. You believed that living your life doing no harm was going to be good enough. And let's face it, it didn't bother you enough that there were some others who were being discriminated against, dehumanized, marginalized. And you're late because you didn't want to come. But you had to come. You had to be here. Because somewhere inside, you know that it's time to show up and deliver. When it comes to ending racism in America, I'm late. I'm late because I didn't know I was supposed to be here. I thought this issue would have been handled years ago. Thought someone else was taking care of it. And I'm late because I was afraid and I didn't want to come. I was afraid of what white people would think about me when I say that just because of the color of their skin, their wealth, their seemingly orderly TV sitcom lives, that your lives are no more valuable than anybody else's. I was afraid of what black people would think of me when I say that we have to stop blaming our challenges on other people. We just simply have to be better than we've been. And I was afraid of people who aren't black or who aren't white, what they would think of me because all I do is talk about black people and white people. I was afraid of extremists, supremacists, white nationalists, Aryan Nationers, Klansmen, they really scare me. And I was afraid because I have seen, as we all have, what can happen to people who see the truth, who know the truth, and who somehow find the courage to speak the truth. I was afraid. But I had to come. I had to come because I can help. I had to come because I know it's time for me to show up and deliver. We're all late. None of us wanted to come. But now that we're here, we won't reconvene in 50 years to say we thought we'd be further along. We'll be back next year saying we can't believe how far we've come. Winston Churchill would say, we've exhausted all other options. It's time to get it right. It's time for all of us to show up and deliver. There is work to be done for social justice. There's work to be done for criminal justice reform. There's work to be done for racial equity. These are not my job. I'm a visible man. I'm going to assemble all of the brilliant visible men across our country. My job is to galvanize black men, visible men, to take full and complete control and ownership over our destinies. We will create our own justness through the way we live our lives, not as victims of anything, but as caring stewards of our own precious futures. This is my crusade. To mobilize, I don't need your push. I'm already moving. I do need you to care. I do need you to root for my success. And most of all, I need your love. Thank you.